Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back to show us some more plunder that I've acquired over the last little while. I got a little short stack to go through today. All of these are 2022 releases. We're only about 4 months into the year, and it's been a hell of a year for metal. A lot of cool stuff has gotten released, and next month is going to be even better because a lot of cool stuff coming out not only on my birthday, but right around the time of my birthday. So really excited, but I just figured I would show off all the 2022 stuff that I've gotten here just recently. I got to kick things off with a band that honestly really needs not much of an introduction at all. This is the new one from Crowbar, Zero and Below. Of course, Crowbar, sludge metal band out of New Orleans, Louisiana, been around since 1990. This is their 12th full-length album, put out by MNRK Heavy. And they actually had a long box edition, which I, of course, pre-ordered. A lot of bands are coming out with these long box editions. Of course, I know Exodus had one. Let's see. The new Municipal Waste is, which I actually have on pre-order, is coming in a long box. But I'm a little disappointed with this one, mainly because MNRK Heavy did not package this very well. They just kind of threw it in a large bubble envelope and shipped it. So I got a little dinged up in the mail, as you can kind of see there. I mean, overall, the box is in pretty good shape still, but still, they should have known better. And of course, I also found out that, because Kirk Weinstein, the main man behind Crowbar, is big friends with Jamie Josta of Hatebreed. They've got a band together, Kingdom of Sorrow. Jamie's label / distro puts out stuff for Kirk, and I found out that they actually had signed copies of the album. So I pre-ordered this as well. This is my very first Crowbar album that I have that is fully signed by the band. Of course, I saw Crowbar play live a few years back, and of course, I got to meet Kirk, really awesome guy. And he signed all of my albums, though of course I realized the next day that I was missing a couple, so that kind of made me mad. But most of my catalog for Crowbar is signed by just Kirk. This is the first one that is signed by the entire band, so I'm really happy to add that to the collection. These next two were kind of blind buys off of Amazon. Of course, every Friday I go on there, check out the new releases, see if anything catches my eye, see if there's anything that I've been wanting that's actually for a decent price. And saw these two on there, and I was just like, these look interesting. So I checked them out, a couple songs from each, thought they sounded pretty good, so I went ahead and picked them up. And of course, at the time, I had money left from a gift card, because I buy gift cards every once in a while to kind of put in my balance, so in case I see something and I don't want to put it on my actual credit card or whatever, I can buy it. First up is Misfire with Sympathy for the Ignorant. And this is a thrash metal band out of Chicago, Illinois. Been around since 2018. This is their debut full-length album, put out by MNRK Heavy. And of course, I didn't realize until after I started doing the notes for this video that this actually was put out by the band last year. But considering I discovered it through just this year and this particular issue, I'm going to consider this a 2022 release. So, if it ends up being on my year-end 2022 list, you'll know why. But this is just some really solid, aggressive thrash metal. I highly recommend checking these dudes out. I definitely want to hear more from them. Next up, Warm Blood with Master of the Dead. And this is a death metal trio out of Lodi, Lombardy, Italy. Been around since 2002. This is their 5th full-length album, put out by Punishment 18 Records. And up until now, I had not heard this band, as I said, and only gotten to listen to a little bit of this, but what I've heard has been pretty decent sounding death metal. Next up, I actually just showed off the cassette version of this. And, I got this from Sewer Rot Records. And, Sewer Rot being a kind of small operation, there's only a couple guys running it. And just, various logistical issues. Sometimes it takes quite a while to get stuff from them. But it's always well worth the wait. I'm pretty impatient when it comes to, getting my stuff. But, I can kind of understand, and I always know it's going to be worth the wait. But this is Unmbalmed with Serpents at the Doorway of Death. Yeah, death metal band from Phoenix, Arizona. Been around since 2019. This is the band's first EP overall. Put out on cassette, as I said, which actually it's sitting right here, as a matter of fact. By the band themselves, and then of course Sewer Rot took care of the CD issue, and they actually also took care of the band's first full-length album, The Stench of Suffering, back in 2020. And yeah, really solid album. Go check these dudes out. Got another pre-order that finally came in, and I was really excited that this finally hit shores, because it's an Everlasting Spew release. And of course, you know, right now I don't order too much from overseas just because of shipping prices and stuff like that, so I always have to wait for their stuff to hit Night Shift merch, which is where I finally picked this up. I've had the digital version since it came out. This is the new Father Befouled album, Crowned in Veneficum. Of course, Father Befouled, death metal band out of Atlanta, Georgia, been around since 2006, featuring Justin Stubbs, who you've heard me mention quite a bit on this channel. He's in Investment, in Coffination, Occult, and a host of others, as well as this also contains members of Deceased and Apocryphitic. But this is the band's fifth full-length album. God, I cannot talk this morning. As I said, put out by Everlasting Spew Records, and yeah, this is so freaking good. Father Befouled just really, honestly, does not disappoint. All right, the next two actually came from, well, I shouldn't say they came from, they both are projects featuring Sven from Aborted on vocals. That guy is just on a freaking roll this year. Two projects, two killer albums. Really happy I was able to find copies of both. Kicking things off, we have Fetal Blood Eagle with Indoctrinate. And it comes in a little slipcase here, which just has the artwork underneath. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Fetal Blood Eagle, they are a brutal death metal band with members split up between Belgium and the U.S. that came formed just last year, I should say. This is their debut full-length album, put out on Listenable Records, and this is just absolutely killer. And of course, you know, Sven's got such recognizable vocals, and he turns in a really solid performance here. And then his other project that put out an album is Coffin Feeder with Stereo Homicide. And this is a deathcore, is what they're listed as, actually. Outfit out of West Flanders, Belgium. Again, formed just last year. This is their debut EP, put out independently by the band just this year. And again, this is some really solid stuff. Another great performance by Sven. I was a little disappointed because I wasn't able to get a shirt for Fetal Blood Eagle. I wanted the artwork shirt, but they didn't have my size. And I also wanted one for Coffin Feeder, but they, again, did not have my size, which pissed me off. So hopefully they'll get those back in stock. But I was able to get a nice logo shirt. I personally don't mind logo shirts. And then on the back says, "None will be left alive." So yeah, really, really happy to have both these albums, and of course this awesome looking shirt. And the last one is another one that I was really excited to get. And I was really excited I was able to get this version. But this is Meathook with Manipulating the Human Form. And yeah, these guys are a brutal death metal band out of Phoenix, Arizona. Been around since 2007. This is their first EP overall, put out just this year by Ablated Records. They do have 3 previous full lengths. And of course, the first 5 tracks are the brand new EP. And then tracks 6 through 12 on this release are actually from the band's debut full-length album, Infernal Torture. Excuse me one second. Sorry about that, stupid ass phone. But yeah, as I said earlier, I'm really excited I was able to get this edition of it because the first 200 copies were called the Slaughterhouse Edition, and they came with a hand-painted, blood-splattered tray. And this little bit right here is actually a tiny hook that is painted to look like it has a chunk of meat on it. So that is really freaking cool. So like I said, I was really happy I was able to get within the first 200 pre-orders so I could get this edition. And then I also finally was able to get my very first Meathook shirt. Love this design. I actually wore this here recently, so I got to toss it in the laundry after this video. On the back, though, it says, "We are lost, we are torture, we are formless." But, yeah, really, really glad to own this. So, yeah, that is going to do it. That's all the 2022 releases that I've got for this video. Got plenty more to come and show. So, yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.